Hello and welcome to episode 7, I believe, of the Park Avenue podcast.
Yes, indeed. Neale here.
Neale, of course, and we've got Rob back in the studio with us.
Rob here. Thank you.
It's good to have Rob around. He's kind of...
Well, I guess maybe we just want to call this number 6, actually, since I lost number 6.
Oh, that's true. Number 6 has been
so
lost.
This will be number 6.
This
is
is
new number 6.
6B is what we'll call this one.
Okay.
So, how's everybody been? It's been a couple weeks since we did a new podcast, I believe.
Been doing okay,
Anything new?
No, changes at my job.
Oh, what's up with...
no one cares.
My supervisor lost his job because he's drunk.
Oh, yeah, Rob told me about this. The guy said that what did he say, he had the flu?
Yeah, he's had the stomach flu for like 6 weeks. Or 6...
Not
6 weeks, 6 times this year, so... My boss called him out, and he got a little fired.
And something happened
I got banned from 7-Eleven.
Yes, the same 7-Eleven that we have talked about before on the Park Avenue podcast. Neale, would you like to tell us what happened?
I guess the shortened version, there was
don't tell us shortened version.
Well, I guess there was an issue with some coupons I was trying to use. This lady was giving me some guff about it, and I read the coupon and made my point, and I was correct about the situation, and she still wouldn't shut up about it, even after I was like, I'm not going to argue with you, So I just let out a fuck you, I'm going somewhere else, and then I called her a dumb bitch, and she wasn't happy about it, and I went in there yesterday to use the ATM, and I snuck by. She wasn't out when I walked in, but she saw me, I guess. She was sitting in the back doing some kind of bullshit, masturbating probably, looking at the security cameras. And I guess she came out and was like, I heard her when I was using the ATM tell someone, I'm about to beat someone out the store.
Oh, gee.
And I was like, are you kidding me? So I yelled out, not yelled, but I, raised my voice and was like, are you still mad? And on the way out, she was like, I don't want to see you in this, from now on, you're not allowed to come in this store, some shit like that. And so I was like, alright, whatever, I'll be back tonight. Because, I'd gone in there the day before, and the guy who was in there when I did this, he, gave me a fist pound and said,
good work.
Yeah,
basically.
Good work. So that's
man.
That's the excitement in my life.
And when Neale said that he let out a fuck you, that's basically how it usually works with Nelson when I've seen something piss him off. Once in high school when we were both late and we show up and we're both trying to walk to class before an administrator sees us, but of course we both get seen and sent to the cafeteria to get a pink slip, which makes you just even later to class. And when Neale's trying to sneak by and gets caught, this is all I see is the tail end of this, I think, is when Neale says, why do I have to do that if it's just going to make me later? And he goes, that's policy, just get over here. And he goes, that's stupid, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. And she goes, come with me. And then Neale, and I go, hey Neale. He just kind of walks in. I'm like, that's my friend Neale.
Yeah, whatever, I don't know, it was bullshit.
The other one was in crafts class, of course, when you made that project that you were given permission to do. And then at the end of it, Mr. Murmur, the butt artist that you can look up.
Yeah, we could probably
Stan Murmur.
There was an uproar a couple years ago when people found out that he was a butt and I think penis artist.
Our former art teacher.
Balls.
Yep, our former art teacher did paintings, and then with his balls and his butt and his dick, and then he went on a fucking show and.
He wore a glasses and nose disguise like some retard.
But anyone that knows him,
Stan Murmur.
Yeah, his name is Steve Murmur, and he made his fucking name on the show Stan Murmur. I love Mr. Murmur. I think he was an awesome teacher, but he could do shitty stuff sometimes, like tell Neale that his project wasn't going to work out after he'd given him permission. So he tells him that, and Neale just I don't exactly remember how you used the word fuck
either.
in that instance, but you immediately got sent outside.
I think it was like, what the fuck? I don't know. It wasn't anything major.
He was like, this is fucked up or something.
Yeah, I think so.
And you sat down and he goes, Neale, outside. And at least he didn't send you to the office.
Yeah.
But so I waited a few minutes and I was like, Mr. Murmur, can I go to the bathroom? I was like, I want to go talk to Neale. And he was like, as long as you don't talk to Neale. I was like, okay. So
you're like,
I promise.
I'm going to.
So I go out there and I shut the door and I'm like, hey Neale, what's up? I can't believe that. Okay, that's so awesome. And I believe I high-fived Neale. That would have been funny if Mr. Murmur had heard from inside the classroom.
The high five.
Yeah, just the high five. And then I remember I was like, give me your phone, I'm going to take a picture of you. Do you remember that? I took a picture of you with your phone and I think you had it on MySpace or Facebook or something for a bit.
Anyway,
it's just a great picture of you sitting out in the hallway with a big smile on your face. Like,
I think I remember.
So, what did you do last weekend, Tyler?
Oh, Atlantic City.
The real excitement.
My brother's bachelor party. I had to go to Atlantic City. So, basically my first time in a casino and first time in a strip club. And first time for some other things. And I did do some gambling. But it was a fun weekend, but also had some very uncomfortable points to it. First off, being with my brother's friends, they're much bigger partiers than I've ever been, so I was like afraid of what I'd be forced into doing.
Did you get too fucked up?
No, I did not get too fucked
resisted?
up, actually. I did. I resisted the alcohol, but I did get fucked up Saturday night, but only a little bit Friday night. But anyway, so Friday night we get there. Well, I'd like to point this out. When I have to drive the last leg into Atlantic City from, like, you know, Delaware border into Atlantic City, basically.
Uh-huh.
And when we are in that last little stretch of highway, where you can, like, see the city in the distance and you're about a mile or two away, I'm going 80 in a 55, and everyone around me is zipping past me, honking at me, doing the swerve around where they cut back in front of you and with like an attitude, like, what are you doing, you fucking Virginia assholes? Like, going so slow. And I'm like, I'm going 80 fucking miles an hour in a 55.
I bet you don't like going fast. I bet you were fucking scared.
Yeah,
as shit.
I don't, because, and here's
Were you driving the truck?
Yeah, I was driving the Explorer, this guy Leon's Explorer. We ended up taking that, and it was fucking crazy because on the way in, there's like where the gas stations and rest stop is. It's like in between the two sections of highway. Yeah. So like you get in the left lane and you pull in like that. So when you pull back out, you're pulling into the heaviest lane of traffic, or the fastest lane of traffic.
Sucks. That's
in heavy traffic.
Awful design.
I was like, terrible. What the fuck? Just make two buildings on either side of the fucking road, please. So I almost crashed into a car because Leon, when we're pulling out, he goes, all right, you're good after this car. And this car passes me right after he says that. So I think he means that car. And instead, he meant good after this next car coming up. It's going to come about 2 seconds later. So right as I'm about to pull in, I decide to look over my shoulder, and I see this car, and that's right as my brother goes, don't go yet. You know, all this is happening in like a second. Yeah, I almost fucking crashed. And I was like, why are they making me do this anyway?
We were all drinking. If everyone, they drunk?
I had one beer on the way up, and Leon had 9.
Oh, God.
And he was like, I don't even feel drunk, and he wasn't even acting drunk.
Jesus Christ.
But he had fucking 9 beers. It was insane. And I lost track because of these fucking celebrating bastards.
Sorry.
But okay, so we're driving into Atlantic City. We get there. The hotel is fucking huge. It's called the Borgata or something.
Oh yeah, like they always. That's where I said I asked you if you were going there, and you said
really?
no. Yeah.
I said I didn't know. So,
yeah, they're always talking about that on Opie and Anthony. Well,
here's why. Because there are posters all over the place. It's too bad we didn't go a couple weeks later, or like a week earlier, because there are posters everywhere that's like, stand up, Louis C.K. at the
Yeah.
Borgata. And I'm like, what the
He was
fuck?
promoting a show on
all these comics that I like. There were like 3 or 4 posters for comics that I specifically enjoy.
always,
And I was like, what the fuck?
That's why I
God
asked.
damn it. So we go there and it's like fucking it's so smoky that it's bothering me. So goddamn smoky in that place that my eyes are fucked up. So we leave there and we go to this place called, well, first off, the weird thing is there's a policy at this fucking place that you can only have 6 beers in your room at a time. So we have to sneak all our beers into our bags and stuff. Because the first time we tried to just walk in with cases of beer, and the security guards are like, 6 beers in a room. And I was like, are you kidding? We each get 1 fucking beer.
What the fuck? That's really dumb.
Yeah. So, anyway, we go to this casino. I played blackjack for a while. I turned like $100 into like 210, and then that goes back to 96.
Yeah, as it always does.
And then it was fun. You know, basically, I lost $4. I either got down to 96 or 94, and that's when I stopped playing blackjack because my brother was like, let's go play craps. And I just never ended up gambling for the rest of the weekend because nothing else appealed to me but blackjack, basically.
You didn't play any craps, anything?
I didn't play any craps. It's way too fucking complicated. I'm sitting there watching people play craps. Let me tell you how exciting that is. Not at all.
Not very. No, I've watched it.
I stood there for hours watching people gamble, but, you know, it was fun playing craps, fun hanging out with my brother and everything, but watching, like, these people play craps, and I didn't understand anything that was going on. People are throwing chips on the 4, 4, 4, hey, I want to bet on the come. Going on the...
No roulette with the wheel and the ball?
Like, I never saw anyone actually... I saw the roulette tables, but I never saw anyone actually playing it. And I was like... I mentioned it at one point. I was like, we should maybe play some roulette. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Did you play the slots?
I played 2 slot machines, and I basically just wasted $5 on each of them.
Well, I'm glad you played some cards.
And I was like, I didn't even understand the slot machine, really. I was like, all right, I was hitting buttons for a while. I kept hitting spin, and then I realized that you have to hit like a bet button and then like how many times you want to bet. So I was like,
what did you think you were just going to pull a lever?
Yeah. I was like, okay, 1, 6. And then it'd be like, okay, I think I just lost money, but I'm not sure. 2, 3. And I was like, this is stupid as shit.
I don't want to play this anymore.
Yeah, I basically I did that so I could sit down because there's like there are no seats except for places to gamble. The only seats in the whole place, and I'm sure this is by design, are places right in front of places to gamble.
Yeah.
So I went and I sat on the toilet for a while. I just went to the fucking bathroom.
Just looked at your phone.
I read the news on my phone. I got on Facebook. I text messaged Johnny, and I sat in there for a good fucking while.
Oh god.
Only Tyler
that's typical.
Mays.
And then later I went back in there and I just kept my pants up and just put the seat down and just sat there. And I was like, I don't need to poop or anything, so there's no point in me sitting here with my pants down. Like,
so wait, the first time you went in there, you pulled your
you.
pants down and
yeah,
just
I
sat
had to poop
there?
that time. So.
Oh, okay.
So went ahead and did that, and then I just stayed in there for a while.
I know, they probably thought you were a terrorist.
Yeah.
With
How
your
much
beard.
time did you spend
terrorist.
in the...
Oh, a lot of time in the bathroom.
Yeah, I bet they were watching you on the camera being like, what is this guy doing?
He doesn't gamble, he just
There's
walks
no
around
camera.
watching people.
I bet
were
there
fun.
cameras in the bathrooms at places?
Probably hidden somewhere in that
I would
casino.
imagine not.
There are cameras all throughout the casino, but
I
like,
get
there are these
I always
tough-looking
look for
motherfuckers walking
cameras
around.
in bathrooms,
I think
and
it's
I
against
look
the law to do that.
suspicious. So if there are, then I look suspicious.
So
Yeah, I don't think you can film people using the bathroom.
Yeah. So we leave the casino, and I think, okay, awesome. The night's done. We're going back to the hotel. I'm gonna just hang out.
No, man, it's hooker
watch
time.
a movie and everything. And that's when my brother's friend, of course we're not doing names here, he goes, going to the strip club.
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh, man. And I turned to my brother and I was like, I thought we weren't going to a strip club tonight. I thought that was tomorrow night. And he's like, well, tomorrow night is when the girls are coming to the room and doing the show.
Well, you hadn't mentally prepared for the strip
Yes.
club yet?
Nope, I sure had not.
No,
So
no time.
we cram into this fucking cab, 4 of us in 3 seats in the back, and then, 2 people up front with the fucking cab driver. and it's like I'm just dreading going to the fucking strip club.
Yeah, I've never been to one.
Because this friend of my brother's is like, I got these free cards. Got these cards to get free entrance and free drinks. So we show up and everyone in line has these cards. And the guy at the door is like, these are just business cards. These cards don't mean shit. And we're all like, what the? Everyone's like, what the hell? So
He
I
probably
guess
just said that because everyone had
somebody was probably paid like $50 to hand out, like they'll send out people to hand out flyers.
Oh, just
and
like
shit
flyers,
like that.
yeah.
So he's probably like, let's get people to take this shit. I'll be like, free entrance, free drinks, bare exposure. Free entrance, free drinks, bare exposure. So we get this stupid shit. And we go in there, and immediately there are girls walking up. Hey, do you want to dance? And I'm like, I just got here. And they go, so? And I'm like, don't fucking...
She tried to work her magic on you.
So my brother's like, you don't have to say yes. And I'm like, I know that. So I was like, maybe I'll find you later. I said that probably 10 times that night.
Maybe I'll find you later.
I said that probably 10 times that night, a variation of maybe I'll...
So
every
awkward.
time you
Maybe
said
I'll
that,
find
they
you.
probably knew that
They
was your
just-
first time in a strip club.
Probably. They just...
That was your first time,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
So they just turn around, okay, and just turn around and walk off and go to the next guy. Do you want to dance? And they'd be like, not now. And they'd be like, okay. Do you want to dance, sweetie? And then the guy'd be like, yeah.
Oh, God.
It's like
Did
$30
your
to-
brother's friends get dances?
Everybody did, I think.
Except for you? Did you end up getting one?
I got 2 lap dances.
How did you like that?
I did not like that. Really.
Why?
I mean, it was
How were
it was
the
fun
girls?
enough, but it was also awkward as shit.
What?
And
All you have to do is sit there.
and I got in trouble on the second one.
Why? You
Because
touched.
I didn't know that I couldn't just have my hands. You're supposed to keep your hands like on the armrest of these big chairs. I didn't know I could move. I thought I could move my hands down at least, and my hands were like barely touching the
Might
side
have been
of her legs.
trying to like grab a gun to shoot her.
So my hands are like barely touching her legs on the side, and the bouncer comes up behind me. I don't even see this guy coming up. And all of a sudden, there are these 2 hands grabbing
your
mine,
hands,
and he places them on the armrest. He does it mean, but then says nicely, "Keep them there, okay?" And I'm like, "Okay."
He couldn't just fucking say it.
I guess it's loud and
trying to make his
to,
point.
Yeah, probably.
Trying to straight.
They were doing that to
intimidate
people
you.
all night, though. Like, people... Like, because there are these... 3 bachelors went up and got whipped and everything. They're like, my brother avoided this. He told my friends he didn't want it to happen, so they didn't do it. Because it cost, like, $100 or something ridiculous like that. So, these bachelors would go on stage and they'd, like, pull down their fucking pants and then whip them with belts and kick them in the balls and stuff and punch them in the nuts and jump off the top of the chair and land on their lap, like trying to fucking hurt them and stuff. So first time in a strip club. First dance was when my brother is approached by these 2 girls. And this girl's like 27 probably, and she's like, hey, do you want to dance? And my brother goes, no. I don't
They all
want
have
one, but...
Jersey accents.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Well, this one did at least. Do you want to dance? And then my brother's like, no, because my brother... I don't know if my brother ended up getting a dance. No, I don't think so. I never saw him go back there. Because he was like, I don't want to do anything that's like, I just want to have some fun. Don't want to do anything over the line.
Is your brother's bachelor party?
Yeah, it's my brother's bachelor
Okay.
party.
I didn't know if it was your brother's or one of his... I couldn't remember if it was your brother
Yeah,
or
it's
one of his friends.
His bachelor party. So, so my brother goes, no, I don't want one, but I'm going to pay for one for my brother here. Well, the girl says, you want a lap dance for me and my friend? And he goes, no, I'm going to get my brother one here, though. It's his first time in a strip club. And she goes, I'm your first lap dance?
Oh,
and I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, my God, sweetie. And takes my hand and starts to walk me back. And so we go back there and, like, it's $60 for these 2 girls to do this. And the other girl is a rather large lady, which we did not know. And not that she didn't really do anything, though, which was the hilarious part. Here's my theory.
She just stood there?
Here's my theory, and I don't want to be mean about this woman, because she was actually
Why?
pretty
Who
nice.
cares? Oh, well, okay.
But she would like stand there and kind of dance around while the other girl's actually doing the lap dance. She would kind of stand behind her and kind of dance, just like not even really doing
just
anything.
Like watch me do the.
And here's my theory:
shuffle.
no one wants a dance from her. So this friend of hers, the skinnier girl,
kind of
helps her.
Gives her $20 a pop, probably.
Helps her by like going up and being like, "Do you want to dance for me and my friend?" And like, just stay back here. And
yeah, tricking people.
Yep. So I go back there. And it's like a 2-minute thing, and then it's all over.
That's diabolical.
And she like gives me a hug and is like, "I'm glad I could be your first lap dance." And I'm like, "Okay, it's great. Get out of here."
She made you look at that fat woman while you got.
So I go back up and I just stand there and just wait for us to be able to leave. And then eventually one of my brother's other friends comes up and is like, "Hey, buddy, got your lap dance." And that was the one where I got in trouble. And with that one, after like a minute and a half, the girl was like, "It's another 30 if you want to keep going." And I said, "No, thanks." And she got pissed.
Really?
And grabbed her shit and walked off in a huff. And I was like, "I'm not gonna fucking." I was like, "I don't have any money left."
After a minute,
This
and
fucking
a half.
city took all my money
funny.
within 4 hours.
You should make them feel stupid. You're in a strip club. Like, why would you, like, let them make you feel dumb? They're the ones that are like taking their clothes off.
Oh man, that second girl was fucking mean. So then we leave, and I'm once again like, okay, awesome. I get to fucking leave. I get to go back to the hotel, get to relax. Instead, the friend of my brother's that originally said, "We're going to the strip club." He goes, "All right, here's why we're leaving so early," and it's like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning when he says we're leaving so early from the strip club, and he's like, "I called this fucking number from this card I got. We got girls coming to the room, man."
So this is all this first night?
All first night. So he's like, "We got escorts, 2 escorts coming up to the room, do some dances." And I was like, "Oh, fucking shit. Are you kidding me?"
Another thing you weren't mentally prepared for.
Once again, not mentally prepared for this shit. So I go in, we get back in the cab, we go back to the hotel. And we eat really quick in the little cafeteria downstairs. I get a veggie burger. It's fucking awesome as shit.
You're lucky they had veggie burgers.
Yep. Yeah, it's a place called Fat Burger, and they have Boca burgers. These thick-ass veggie burgers. It's awesome.
Delicious?
Delicious. Very delicious. And so we go back up to the room. These girls come up, and they are 2 of the most trailer park trash, whatever, trailer trash type girls I've ever seen, and they are ugly as shit.
They have
acne. And they're mean, and they come in with an attitude.
What the fuck?
They come
How
in,
much
I mean,
did they cost?
They're not mean right off the bat, but they have an attitude right off the bat.
Yeah.
And it was $400 according to the friend that
what
paid
the
for
fuck?
it.
You should be having sex with people for $400.
No, I know. Isn't that ridiculous? Like, you could get girls the same level as these girls on the street.
Oh, God. For like 20.
For like, yeah, 50 at the most, probably. And so these girls come up and they're like, "I want the best man on that bed and the bachelor on this bed." And I was like, "Oh shit,
you're the best man."
Yeah, I'm the best man. So I was like, "Great, I have to be part of this. I don't get to just sit here and ignore it. I have to fucking be part of it." So I hadn't seen the hotel room yet before all this happened. Before we came up back, because like they took my bags up, so I didn't see the hotel room till we came back. So all night I was thinking, all right, when they go back, they're all gonna be doing some crazy shit. I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm just gonna go in one of the bedrooms and go to sleep. I didn't know that it was just one big fucking room.
Yeah.
So there's no going to sleep while everyone else stays up.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I would hate that.
And there's no lock on the bathroom either, and a big gap between the doors. So it's like no privacy and no smoking privacy or anything.
I would fucking hate that. Did you get... So how did you get your... Well, I guess we'll talk about that later. Continue.
So, okay, so the girls come up to the room, and after like 20 minutes in the bathroom, the friend that had paid for it was like, "You girls gonna come out here?" And they come out.
They're probably in there doing a bunch of meth.
And my brother tells this girl to go dance on this other friend. So like because he didn't want any fucking part of it, even though she started to like come
Dance
over and be
him.
like, hey,
Yeah.
what's your name? And he was like, you should dance for my boy over there.
Yeah.
And so this other girl comes in and she gets on top of me, and she's basically dry humping me.
Oh god.
And that's all it is. And she's
Is she fat or just ugly?
She's too skinny.
Oh,
is what it
she's
is.
definitely in
She's
the bathroom
got braces
doing meth.
and heavy makeup on, and then she turns around and is like dry humping me, like facing away from me. She's got a big pimple on one butt cheek.
Oh god.
And 3 long black hairs on the other butt cheek. Just 3
Jesus.
coming out of the same spot.
Nice.
And I was like, oh my god, please I want to be like, get the fuck off me. 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 That's what I wanted to say.
That's
It's
the
just,
last thing you want to see when a fucking
oh my god,
escort's ass
when
is
I
in
think
your
about
face,
it
just
now,
hair.
when I think
A
about it now, I
pimple.
have a physical reaction to it. It's like grosses me out to think about this happening to
Oh,
me.
God.
Because I didn't want it to happen in the first place, but I was like, it's my brother's bachelor party. You can't be a party pooper. You can't like tell people, no, I'd rather not take part in this, guys. I'm sorry. And I was like, just fucking do what they
But you
want to do.
can't go anywhere, so you'd have to sit there
Yeah.
anyway.
I didn't even have a room key, so I couldn't leave on my own. So, so this girl then she keeps her purse on the bed. She pulls out her phone and starts text messaging. And that's when the friend that paid for it starts fucking just cussing this girl out. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You text messaging right now? Put your fucking
Your
phone
friend
away.
did, or one of your
My
brother's
brother's
friends
friend
did? Yeah,
starts
no
to do
shit.
it.
Especially these ugly.
And I'm like, all right,
How long-
let's calm down. And he's like, this is fucking ridiculous. Put your phone away. I paid $400.
Yeah.
And she's like, whatever, stop yelling at me. You've been giving me shit since I got here. And puts her phone back in her purse. And then after a second, she grabs it back out. And it's like, I have to delete my messages, by the way, so my phone will stop ringing, if you must know. That's why I did it. So he's like, put your fucking phone away. So she puts it away. And she goes back to humping me, basically. And I'm like,
God.
please.
How long had she been humping you?
This has been going on for probably at least 2 songs. So probably 6 minutes.
Oh, God.
How long does $400 buy you with a couple meth heads?
An hour.
Oh
An
god.
hour.
So at one point she says something like, getting hard for me or something, and I was like, no.
Were you?
No, not at all. Complete opposite. I'm surprised if it probably retracted back into my body completely. It was like, must protect ourselves.
Like a turtle.
Yep. It was like, oh, what is nope. Dangerous situation.
A hare.
We're gonna retreat, Tyler. Okay. In case you're planning on using us down here, we're gonna zoom back in.
We're taking the balls, too.
Yeah, and by us I mean me and the balls. It's gonna be weird. So, this girl turns back around and she says, "You got some tips for me, Tyler?" And I take out 5 $1 bills, and I hold up $1, and she goes, "Tell me you got more than $1 for me, Tyler." And I'm like, oh my god, it feels so like I don't know what to do in any of these situations.
Should have been like, no, I'll have a
And I
tip.
go,
Why don't you
and
shave your
I
ass?
awkwardly say, "I've got 4 more dollars." And she pulls the fucking front of her underwear up,
Oh god.
and I toss in the 5 $1 bills. I do not put it in.
Toss
like,
it in.
I toss
Sexually,
it in.
you
I
just
fold it and I drop it in
March
from
Madness,
like
you just
4 inches up.
Bank it in.
Yep, I'm like, boop, not touching you any more than I have to. So then after I do that, she just goes back to, as soon as I put it in there, she takes it out and puts it on the nightstand. So that's basically like part of her little
you
act,
could've
I
just-
guess.
you
Like,
could've just put it
here,
on the nightstand.
you get to put the money near my pussy. And I'm like, I'd much rather not do that. I'd rather keep my $5, you fucking weirdo, and have you never come here in the first place. So then she goes back to just humping away on me, I guess. And, she's not, like, even talking, or I don't expect her to talk, I guess. But not looking at me, just kind of staring off into space like it's the coldest, most useless, pointless shit ever.
Yeah.
Like, no feeling to this at all, which I wouldn't really want either in
Yeah.
a room full of guys watching this happen to me, which is the most awkward thing in the world.
Yeah,
I am not
no
meant
shit.
for this sort of party.
No.
Not my cup of tea whatsoever. So, this girl goes back to humping me, and then the friend that paid for it goes, aren't you girls gonna at least, take these off? And he like motions like a bra, and the girl goes, $400 is to get us here. Like if you want more, you gotta pay tips. And he goes,
these girls are fucking scam artists.
Yep. That's what we ended up fucking saying, is that we think that this is their game, is to come do a shitty job. You charge $400, you do a shitty job, and you know that people they're gonna be like, there's no way I'm getting my money back. I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, might as well pay some.
And do such a shitty job and be so awful that people kick you out.
Yeah.
And you get to go on to the next one.
Have to, yeah. God, fucking assholes.
So,
Fucking.
I know. It's just like, I never go back to the place again.
That's disgusting, too. Like, $400 should at least get you a hair-free ass.
Exactly. Very true.
So what
and her bra was way too small, which was the really funny thing. I wanted to laugh at her. I'd be like, you realize you're wearing like a 5-year-old's bra, right?
Oh, God.
So
how did you get your smoking in while you were
Well,
there?
hold on. There's more to this.
Oh, okay.
There's more to this. So when she says that, the dude that paid for it goes ballistic, basically. I'm calling the fucking cops, you fucking thieves. Like,
Oh, God. You can't call the cops about that. Oh, well, I guess there's no sex, so yeah.
Yeah, so he starts dialing a number, who knows what.
Yeah.
And she goes, go ahead and call the cops, dummy. You're the ones that called an escort service. And he's like, we didn't pay for sex. This is perfectly legal. So he's like, I'm calling you, people are thieves. Yeah. And I'm like, everyone's like, Kevin, hang up the phone, man. We'll call and get your money back.
We might get in trouble.
And it's like, we'll call the dude and get your money back. Don't call the cops.
Yeah.
Like, so the skinny girl with the bad attitude, she goes, oh, by the way, the other girl had like, stomach scars from like C-sections at sea, and like definitely had kids recently. And I was like, please get another job for your kids' sake. Don't be doing this, please. You're nice. Like, she was nice.
Just go work at Walmart.
Just go work at Walmart, okay? So the skinny one was mean, but the bigger girl with the stomach scars was pretty nice. So I felt really bad for her, and I was like, I wanted to be like, you're a nice fucking girl. Please go do something else.
You wanted to give her life tips?
Yeah, like, please don't do this. What is this girl, like your cousin? And she talked to you into this?
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
God.
And, like, both of your 6-year-olds are hanging out together right now back at your trailer. Like, no fucking oversight. So... watching Dora the Explorer.
Their kids to babysit each other.
Yep, get your 7-year-old to babysit the 6-year-old. Mm-hmm. So they start fucking leaving basically, and then the bigger girl goes, like the skinny girl storms out and slams the door and is like, you called a legit escort service. If you knew how to do anything, you would give us tips and know what you're supposed to do. You dummies.
They weren't doing anything.
And he's like, I paid $400 fucking dollars. I really wish there were people in the rooms next to us that could hear this argument going on.
I'm sure there were.
We seemed like the crazy room. We must have been. So the other girl, the mother,
the mother,
the girl that seemed like a mother, the bigger girl. She says, if you want, like, I'll stay and I'll make it worth your while. I know she has a bad attitude.
God, that's so sad.
And, like...
It's like, I'll suck your dicks, probably.
It's like, I'm really sorry, like, the way all this happened. And my brother's like, I think you should all, both of you just need to leave. So, they did. So...
Man, that's sad.
Thankfully, like, there was nothing but these girls just, like, dry humping me and my brother's friend.
Yeah.
So...
what a waste of $400.
Yeah. Thankfully, my brother avoided this. So, which would have been a ruiner on the weekend. The next night, or, all the next day, I stay in the room and, do a little smoking.
Reefers.
Do a little smoking.
How'd you get that done?
And then, well... I'm going to get to that in 30 seconds.
Oh, God.
After I hang out in the room all day Saturday smoking the reefers and watching movies while everyone else is out gambling and stuff, then we have the show that we had fucking scheduled like, a month before called The Lesbian Experience, where 2 strippers came and did. They were much nicer.
It was called The Lesbian Experience.
Yeah, they were much nicer, much classier. much prettier. And they did like a 30-minute cool little fucking look at us doing weird stuff to each other, but it wasn't too like crazy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't something we'd be like, can't believe I saw that. It's just like these girls just stripping together and stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, okay, we're much happier with that. But and that was the end of the weekend. We went and ate some more burgers, left the next morning, and I puked up my breakfast halfway home to Virginia, and it was the longest car ride ever. But I felt awful for like 2 fucking days after that. I think Atlantic City just gives you like sinus infections and
probably caught a disease from
venereal
diseases. From that hooker's ass.
Yep. Oh god damn it! I see.
Yeah, you probably had disease seeping out onto you.
So yep, just disease is probably.
You're probably.
You know how some things
you're probably
release
huffing
spores.
Gonorrhea.
You know how some things, some organisms release spores.
Yeah.
I think she releases her fucking diseases and spores like
that
that. She walks in a room, it's just like.
That's gross.
All over the place. That probably
That's
just
disgusting.
She probably had the flu while she was doing it. So here's how I got my reefer smoking in.
Should we take a
so
commercial break?
Do you?
No.
Nope. Here's how I got the reefer smoking in. I would. Well, the first night I tried to do it after is like 4 o'clock in the morning after we ate. And I was like, all right, I'm going to take a shower. It'll be awesome. So I make a cap, but I fuck it up where the plastic doesn't, I make a GB cap so I can take waterfalls in the shower, which is the only place I can get away with doing it because of the steam smell and because anyone can walk in the bathroom at any time because the doors are just fucking, swing open.
Yeah.
So,
That
and
sucks
I probably could have done this, and if I just asked them, they would have been like, all right, do it in the fucking bathroom. Just don't try to be discreet about it. So
it sucks that there wasn't a lock on the bathroom door.
I know. Yeah. So I'm in the fucking shower doing all this stuff with my lighter, making my cap, and I fuck it up because the plastic doesn't go all the way down, and I'm fucking around with it, trying to get the fucking plastic out with my teeth because it's the way it's set in there. I can't screw the cap on because it's blocking the fucking tread or whatever.
Yeah.
So. After like 20 minutes in the shower, I'm like, I can't fucking stand here doing this any longer. I just gotta go. I'm like, I'm exhausted. Let's just go to bed.
Yeah.
Talking to myself, basically.
Yeah.
So I go in, I go to bed, and thankfully 3.5 hours later.
You were in the bathroom for 3.5
No.
Okay.
Thankfully, I go to bed at 4, and then 3.5 hours later at 7:30, everyone wakes up.
Jesus.
And they go to start drinking and gambling again.
Oh, God.
And I'm left in the room with only one other guy who's completely passed out. So I jump back in the shower, make a new cap. I get high, get really high. Super duper high. And I went back and laid in bed and listened to the Joe Rogan podcast on my headphones. And I was trying so hard not to lose it with laughter because my brother had come back. And we were sharing a bed, so he's laying in bed with me, and I'm like, he probably knows.
He would have known you were stoned.
He probably did anyway.
Yeah. He probably knows you by now.
Yep. So, I couldn't go that weekend drinking and everything and not have a little weed. I mean, it makes me not feel so nauseous.
Of course, that's the reason.
That's the reason.
You're not mentally addicted to it.
So, so I do that, and then I go back to sleep basically till like 1:30, which was awesome, and everyone was gone for the whole day, gambling and everything. So I just stayed in the room watching movies, and then everyone came back, and we drank and had fun. Then the lesbian experience happened, got to eat some more burgers, and that was basically the end of the weekend. But smoking that Blue Dream, my man, I was fucked up. I was having a great time sitting there on that stuff. It was unbelievable.
That's funny.
So, all in all, a good weekend, but I never want to go back to Atlantic City, and I hope to never have to go to a typical
You never want to go
party.
back to Atlantic City?
No.
You got your fill?
I guess I would go back if I was going with just a few friends of mine, and I knew we could, like, smoke in the room, and we could do whatever we wanted to do.
Yeah.
It would be fun to go play some more blackjack, but...
Yeah.
But that's about it. That's all
I'd love to go to a casino.
That's all I'd want to do, though, is play blackjack and maybe roulette, but...
Yeah,
the rest is just...
One time
Craps, you have no idea how fucking complicated that shit seems, at least. and how fast paced it is. I'd be such a drag on this game if I was doing it right now.
Anyway, what do you guys want to take a break and regroup and
All right,
get everything back together? All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
I'm a fucking walking paradox. No, I'm not. Threesomes with a fucking triceratops. Reptar, rapping as I'm mocking deaf rock stars. Wearing synthetic wigs made of anwars, dreadlocks, bedrock, harder than a motherfucking Flintstone. Making crack rocks out of pussy nigga fish bones. This nigga Jasper tryna get grown. About 5'7" of his bitches in my bedroom. Swallow the cinnamon, I'ma scribble this shit and shit while Sid is telling me that she's been getting into.
and welcome back to the Pack Avenue podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right.
So I was at work the other day reading the news on my computer, and I got really excited and wanted to call Michael or something because I read this article about how a scientist that works for NASA said that he found evidence of fossils in meteorites. So that's evidence of extraterrestrial life, basically, which is, how a lot of people think that we're going to...
Yay.
So I got very excited, and that was my reaction, too, was to go yay and
That'd
clap.
be sweet.
But a couple days later, go back to that same news website at work and see NASA scientist debunked by NASA.
Wah, wah, wah.
Asked to leave
Thanks for
post
the
or
sound
something
effects.
like that. Yes, thank you. And I was so goddamn disappointed. They were like,
That sucks.
yeah, they were saying that no scientist that reviewed it agreed with the findings that he found.
Shit.
And that it basically meant nothing because these meteorites have been on Earth for so many decades that finding evidence of organisms on them now doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, they've just
About-
been laying around.
And that there's no proof that what he's talking about is a fossil of an organism instead of just a crack in the rock, basically.
That's
Mhm.
nice.
A way that the rock formed, strangely, I guess. So basically, no. And from the article I read, supposedly this happened in 1996, too. If we have some older podcast listeners, they might remember this. Supposedly in 1996, Bill Clinton went out in the Rose Garden or whatever it is in the White House and announced that we had found evidence of life on Mars. And then a few weeks later had to go back out and say, actually, we've not
didn't.
found evidence of life on Mars.
That would be pretty embarrassing.
I don't know how I didn't hear about that, being a 10-year-old obsessed with aliens.
I feel like I've heard about that.
I remember a bunch of Mars talk when
Well, people, they're always
was-
breaking shit trying to go to Mars.
Yeah.
Wasting a lot of money.
Yeah. And the guy
we
that-
got it out there, but it's not
We don't know
moving.
how to land it.
One guy, they'll get it out there and be like, it worked for about 13 minutes and then something went wrong. We would fix it, but we can't because it's on another planet.
We can't exactly get there, but we can
So-
send another in about a year.
Yeah.
We'll send another one to fix that.
Yeah,
one.
and hope that he can get there. And we can land him anywhere close to where we did originally.
Okay.
Thank you for your dollar.
We had one that lasted for a good fucking while, though. That went on for months, like over a year, I think.
Taking
Just
pictures.
Taking
and stuff.
pictures, collecting shit, running on solar panels, of course, and just being like, meh. But I read that it, like, the scientists were amazed at how fast this model could move. It went 2 miles in a day or
I
something
know,
like
it's
that.
like-
I was like, what?
It's like, I don't understand. Well, I guess you don't know how. I don't know. It's just weird how rinky-dinky those things always look.
Here's,
Yeah.
if we really think about how weird that is, how amazing that is.
It looks like someone put them together with erector sets.
But think about, that's true. But think about this. Like 100 years ago, people would have thought going to the moon was a ridiculous concept.
How many years ago?
100 years ago, 75 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
basically 50 years ago when they first announced that they were going to be doing it, people were like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And now we have sent our robots to another fucking planet. We have pieces of Earth, basically, because this shit's all made out of stuff you find on Earth and everything. We got sound of a leaf blower. I wonder if that's picking up really well. But anyway, we have pieces of our planet driving around on another fucking planet right now.
It's
We're
crazy.
that. I mean, and to a lot of other civilizations that are probably out there that have much better capabilities, that's probably like, yeah, we did that fucking thousands of years ago. And it means it's like, that's barely anything. But that's really spectacular to be a species that can get smart enough and advanced enough to be able to send something to a completely different planet, to be able to figure out where to shoot it, when to shoot it, how fast, see how far you need to go, and be able to control it once it fucking gets there. That's insane.
Yeah.
What some of us are able to accomplish, and then others of us can't do shit.
I know,
Like, we
we're
don't-
sitting here doing a podcast, smoking reefer.
Well, not even
walking
the
back.
people way dumber than us.
I know. Yeah, definitely.
There's such extremes.
It's
in
crazy, yeah.
When I
The
was-
levels of humans that there are.
I was so disappointed to see that, that scientist was basically debunked by
We need
everyone.
more XP,
XP.
experience points. We'd be better at life if we had that.
We need or when I was reading that article, I got excited, especially when I first read about Mars fossils and everything, because that's a real possibility on Mars, because they have all this evidence that there used to be running water on Mars, because it's got all these water erosion on the surface and everything. So if there's running water and it was more temperate temperature, I suppose, there is a good fucking chance that there were organisms, there was life on Mars. And if we can collect enough rocks from the right places or deep enough, then we can probably find fucking fossils of life on Mars that used to exist fucking hundreds of thousands of years ago or millions of years ago. People don't fucking realize how prevalent life probably is in the universe, that it could have existed on the planet next over, simultaneously with us, or maybe before Earth. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's
It's
there's
ridiculous.
probably life everywhere.
I know, and who knows, other galaxies and everything. We'll never be able to know,
I know,
really.
all that shit's so far away, it's so hard to communicate with.
It's mind-boggling to even think about.
The closest star to the planet Earth is 4.5 light years away. That's going
That
the
seems pretty
speed
far.
of
Wow.
light.
Shit.
4.5 years away, going the speed of light.
That's pretty nuts.
So going as fast as we can go, it would take fucking forever. And our galaxy is 100,000 light years across. If you're going the fastest speed that we know of, the fucking speed of light, it would take you 100,000 years to cross our galaxy. There's if there's other life out there, it's probably 100 light years away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So even if we could go the speed of light, it would take us 100 years to get that. And who the fuck's gonna do that?
I know. No one. Humans. We can't travel for it. We'll be dead.
Yeah. And I guess the only way that you'd be able to, travel around space in any sort of real sense, to go to other star systems and everything, you'd have to have the wormhole type of technology where you bend space-time,
Yeah,
and it
just
makes
get
you
there
appear
instantly.
there instantly.
Yeah.
You just make a fucking connection through the fucking this bent space-time,
Yeah.
and you fucking connect it, and
Fold
you're
it
there.
over.
And that seems completely ridiculous
I
to
know.
anyone except for the people that really know what they're talking about when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I watch these physics documentaries and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Bend space. And you're all of a sudden there. How the fuck can that work?
I know.
Yeah.
But space is a fucking...
Well, I guess we haven't figured it out
Yeah.
yet, so
Yeah,
we don't
somebody-
know how it would work.
200 years ago, or 300 years ago, I don't know when were airplanes first?
100 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
think
200, 300 years ago,
1913.
people would have said, what do you mean you're going to make something that fucking flies in the air and takes you across the ocean? That's fucking impossible. So maybe we just we're unadvanced to that point, I guess, that we can't imagine how it's even possible. But maybe, man, that'd be fucking some crazy shit if some spaceships just popped up right outside of our planet because they bent space-time and showed up.
I know,
that
just
shit.
dropped in.
I think someone needs to make a movie about an alien invasion where they just wait us out. They put their spaceships on the surrounding our planet, and they just shoot down these canisters of poison gas and just try to fuck us up that way. And they just bombard us with fucking poison gas and missiles for months.
That wouldn't be very
We're
fun to
doomed.
deal with.
It would be No,
I need to get a
that'd be
gas
cool.
mask.
You need a gas
Yeah.
mask.
I need
you
a gun.
Bomb shelters and
To
everything.
shoot the aliens.
And they would be like, you fucking surrender and become our slaves and we'll stop.
No,
But
I'll shoot
if
them.
you don't, we will keep bombarding you till you're all dead. I want to make that movie.
I'd just kill myself if that happened.
Oh man, that would be, yeah. If
Yeah.
there's there's that
That's
movie
what I would do,
Children
too.
of Men where they have that product like Quietus,
Yeah.
I think it's called. And it's just like, hey, kill yourself. If shit goes crazy.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be much better than the hordes of people coming in and killing and raping you. So
Yeah.
please, and then eating you. So
Yeah.
just kill yourself. Hey,
Yeah.
just kill yourself. Be like, okay, that sounds great.
That sounds a lot better than the eating and the raping.
Yes. So let's talk about what we just saw on the TV a minute ago, where that was that intentional, where that hokey basketball player threw
yeah.
the ball in the
Totally.
dude player's face.
I
Totally.
don't think he got in trouble for
He
it.
didn't
How
get in
could
trouble
he? What?
because it was out of bounds.
That wait.
I think maybe he was trying to save it from going out of bounds or something, and he threw
Well,
it at him. So it
Jeff
would go out of
Allen
bounds.
was going to go out of bounds, so if he throws it to the Duke guy that is already out of bounds and it touches him, it's out on Duke. And it
He
just so
hit him in
happened
the
that
face with it.
it hit him in the face, and it kind of looked like he intentionally threw it at
It
his
looked like he
face.
got angry and threw the ball in his
But-
face.
That was fun to
That was
watch.
funny. Yeah, it's March Madness
Rob, you're
going on
such a
right
poor
now.
Sportsman.
I just don't like Duke.
Or the beginnings of March Madness with the conference tournaments.
Yeah.
Pulling for Virginia Tech right now over Duke.
Except for me.
Who cares about him?
Who cares
Yeah.
about you guys?
Who roots for
Anyway,
Duke?
I guess we're going to wrap it up here.
All right, wrap it up. Neil's gonna start
Thanks
with
for
the beat.
listening.
Thank you guys and have a